Hi, so today I want to talk to you about a few things that people get wrong when it comes to public relations and a few misconceptions about public relations. So, misconception number one, that public relations has to include social media. Well, doesn't have to include social media. There are a lot of different ways of doing public relations. Some of them do include social media, some don't. So, misconception number two is that PR is expensive. PR isn't expensive either in terms of it can be as cheap or as expensive as you want to make it. Uh, but let me put it this way: it is an investment. So if if somebody brings out a story in the media or creates a brand or creates an opinion about yourself, your end marketing costs will at some level actually even out and will reduce. So PR, consider PR an investment rather than an expense. In fact, for to most clients, to many clients, I actually tell them that PR is like you have intellectual property, you have real property. PR is like digital property. So when you do PR, you're actually creating digital assets, and these digital assets can actually be used over and over again. So don't consider that, oh, it took this much to make a podcast. Then you have another misconception that PR is spin. So spin is many times defined as something which you probably have to do wrong, or you have to put out the wrong message. Not at all. PR is actually telling the story from your perspective. So it's not about saying that a product is like, if some product is having a lot of hiccups or breakages, it's not to say that not to say the product is good, but sometimes it's just to say that why the product is having hiccups. Some of them may not be under your control. Some of it may be the raw material that you're getting. Some of it may be transport. For instance, let me give you a perspective. There was a flower manufacturer, flower grower in Himachal, and when he would send the flowers to the city, to Delhi, most of the flowers would come as they grade these flowers when they export them, and most of the flowers would come as grade B, C, or D instead of grade A, which are the most highly valued. A lot of people blamed him for being a poor quality of a poor quality grower, but the real reason was that the roads were very bad, and when the flowers which left in perfect condition, they reached Delhi, the condition worsened. So some explaining something like this in your communication actually makes people realize that you may not be the reason that there's a problem. Misconception number four is that PR directly relates to sales. That's like a very common misconception. So a lot of our clients, when we talk to them, they really want us to get them on the cover page of a very popular magazine. It could be like Economic Times, Times of India, which is not to say that it is like it's a bad deal to get your client. It's a great honor and a great privilege to have your product or your CEO in a valuable newspaper. But will it really lead to sales? Will it really lead to an increased sales? Not every time. In fact, most of the time, no. Brand building and sales is a long term game. One of the elements may be to see you in essential papers, but don't think that that is the be all and end all of the game. Neither is it going to affect your sales if it doesn't come over there. Neither will it really boost your sales if you do appear over there.